Pine Hollow Auto Diagnostics. We're about 8 hours from Pennsylvania in Kentucky, horse country. You might ask why. Well, got a diagnostic call here near Lexington, Kentucky for a 2016 Lincoln MKX, I think, that was purchased at an auction. And the lady, she's driving it for a couple months, and then the problem started. All the warning lights going off, something to do with the camera, the 911 warning system. She's like, that freaks me out, I can't drive it. What do we have to do to get you to come down here and diagnose my Lincoln? My wife, she's a big horse lover. I'm like, hey, we're going to go to Kentucky, might as well tour some horse farms. So I just dropped her off. She got a rental car. She's gonna do 3 days of horse farm tours while we diagnose cars. So we'll get to the Lincoln soon. We'll see what it does and see if we can figure out what's wrong with it. Maybe some wiring damage from the I think it was in a front end collision at some point. But yeah, it should be fun. So kind of like a little vacation for her, and then we're gonna make money, she's gonna spend the money. That's how it works, right? So pretty nice country here. It's supposed to be 60 degrees, but it's in the 20s right now. There's a cold front just came through, but we'll get her done, see how it goes. Alright, here we are. We're actually inside a garage, which is nice. Here's the Lincoln. And there's the owner. And she says, I'm the last resort to get this car behaving well, otherwise it's going back to the auction block. So, let's start from scratch. We'll do a full health report. I got the battery maintainer on it. And this car, when you just turn the key on, it kind of likes to shut off, and the whole health report doesn't really do its thing. So
911 assist is not operational.
Yes.
Please visit your dealer for service.
So that's the customer complaint. We got all kinds of warning lights, beeping, check headlamp system, parking brake malfunction, all kinds of fun stuff. And we'll see what the smart scan does. I can already see we can't talk to the ABS. So that's a high-speed 2, looks like. Can't talk to much. The car does start and run, so high-speed 1 looks like it's talking. This should be really fun. Alright, so suspecting a network problem, and sure enough, we see something very weird on channel 2. So we have 4 networks on the PICO right now. Now I'll show you what those are on the wiring diagram. So this vehicle has 4 separate high-speed networks. Well, 3 high-speed and 1 medium speed. You see HS1, 2, 3, and medium speed. 2 of them, HS1 and HS2,
assist is not operational.
Oh my
Please
gosh.
visit your dealer for service.
That lady is very annoying. So, anyways, channel 1 is on high-speed 1 at the DLC on the HS1 CAN Plus. And then channel 2 is on HS2 CAN Plus at the DLC. The other 2, I have to remove the steering column cover here. And actually, there is the gateway module, and it has the DLC connector kind of on it, but I don't know why they didn't just put it here. But anyways, it's kind of a pain, but I have 2 wires back probed back there. That's the high-speed 3 CAN and the medium speed CAN on the positive side. So we can see right now there's definitely a problem with HS2. Now if we do a smart scan, I'm sure nothing on HS2 is going to talk. So right now we see that This voltage here is 11 volts. So it's almost like that wire's pulled up to battery positive. And let's zoom in on the other signals. They look normal. Now the scale is obviously, you know, we're going from 2.5 to 3.5 volts on each one. Make sure there's 2.5 down to 1.5. So I must have grabbed the HS can 3 minus on on the third channel, and channel 4 also looks fine. 2.5 to 3.5. This right here, HS2, is the problem. So if we can track that down, we'll be in good shape. My question is, why is the scanner not able to talk to, you know, on the medium speed? Probably because if HS2 is messed up, the only thing it'll be able to read is HS1, which is the all the red modules here, the PCM. So does this car actually start up and run and shift? It'll be pretty impressive if it does, but the owner says it drives fine, it just has all these warnings on. Let's finish scanning that, save the report, read the codes, but the problem is pretty evident here. So in the health report, we're missing communication with airbag, instrument panel cluster, steering control module, the turn signals don't work. Lost communication with ABS. Lost communication with basically everything. Okay, look. Our HS2 is just basically pulled high, but we do have some activity. Let me save this capture here, and then we'll start playing, see where HS2 goes. Alright, so I moved channel 3 to high-speed CAN minus, right at the DLC. So I want to, since we're dealing with a problem on HS2, I want to monitor both the plus and the minus. So what do we see here? It looks like both lines are pulled up to almost battery voltage, and you know, when they try talking, it's that. So we're dealing with a wiring problem or a module problem. Let's do a little research, pull up all the modules on high speed 2 and see where this wiring harness goes. Now the accident or the impact damage was in the front end, and this car is loaded with features like, I don't know if there's a front end camera, and apparently there's some wiring damage. So I'm suspecting the problem is going to be, uh-oh, I see like U-Haul trailer connectors down there. So let's look at the wiring harnesses, see where this network goes. Hopefully it's just a wiring problem, there will be no parts required to repair. Alright, so I got the scope rolling here, and I'm just going to do a quick wiggle check through this hole. Like right there, you see the harness is kind of smashed into the body. We might get lucky if we do a wiggle check and something changes. We'll know the location of the issue. So let's just wiggle some stuff around. Now you want to do this only while looking at the network. And did we just fix the network? No, it's still a battery voltage. We want it. Right there, I just fixed it. Let's see if I can fix it again. You saw for a while the network was restored. now it's not restored anymore. Oh, quiet down, lady.
Please visit your dealer for service.
So we might have to tear off this bumper cover to do a closer visual inspection, but and we'll see if the network actually goes through somewhere through, you know, this harness, like that bulk connector down there. Hopefully we'll find the problem. Alright, so the network is restored, and all I did was pull this bulk connector. I just pulled on it and it came apart. Let's see if we plug it in, if our network will go nuts again. There it goes, it's going nuts. So this is a great clue. Alright, so let me leave that unplugged. Let's do a full code scan and see what module is offline. Then we'll chase that one. Well, that's pretty neat. Alright, beautiful. So now, you see HS2 modules are talking, MS. Medium speed modules are talking, high speed 3 modules are talking, and high speed 1. I want to clear out all the codes once it's done scanning. Rescan it one more time and see exactly what codes come up. We'll look up that connector number, location, pinouts, and see what the, you know, where it goes. So I'm definitely suspecting a wiring issue, considering the you know, the accident that happened there. And looking at the amateur wiring repairs, we're gonna have to do it the right way. So probably I'm gonna have to take off that bumper cover and go in there and make sure everything's legit, so it doesn't happen again. Now the owner said that after the repairs, she drove it for 6 months and it was fine. And then the last 4 months, this stuff started happening. Now looking at those wiring repairs, yes, you get a little salt on there, a little moisture, weird stuff's gonna happen. Like short, it looks like the network is shorted to a hot wire. So that's probably the green crusties right there wreaking havoc. We'll see where it goes. Alright, this is the power of the THINKTOOL Pro's Topology. Hit clear DTCs, one button, hold code clear, and it's really nice to see the you know, all the modules. I'm wondering why the GSM and the TRCM aren't talking. Perhaps they are on that bulk connector, who knows? But once we rescan it, we'll definitely see, you know, loss of transmission, whatever, communication. See, VDM, steering angle sensor module, okay. Steering column control module, that's in the driver's front seat module. Missing communication with steering column control module. Lost communication with instrument panel cluster. So, back out. Let's just start it up. So that connector unplugged, doesn't want to start. Can we shift gears? Yes, we can shift gears. Okay, interesting. Let's do one more smart scan. See what comes up. Alright, so here's a full health report with that bulk connector unplugged. And the car's not starting because invalid internal control module monitoring data received from GSM and the TRCM. That makes sense because those two modules are on the high-speed 2 CAN, and we split the network, so only half of it is talking. Yep, missing communication with transmission range control module, gear shift control module, so that makes perfect sense. So that's good to have a verification, you know, kind of logical approach here. So you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 modules are active on high-speed 2 CAN, but we're missing the TRCM, the GSM, and the steering column control module. A lot of modules are fussing about that one. So now we need a physical layout of that harness and see exactly where that bulk connector goes and where the wires could potentially be damaged. Alright, so here's the mobile office doing some research on which modules here are online on HS2 and the actual layout of the harness. For this you need OE wiring diagrams, and they're listed here 1 through 12. Section 14, that's the data information bus. So we're interested in high-speed 2. So from the DLC, they go to the gateway module, that's fine. Then they go off the page on C and D. Come over here. So here we go. Let's write these modules down kind of in order. So we have image processing module B if we have a front view camera, which I don't believe this car is equipped with. Restraints control module, RCM. Can we talk to that? Well, yes we can, and it's green. So the way I do it, I just write them down. DLC, GWM, RCM. Check mark means we have good communication, no problems. This image processing module B, I don't think we have it, so I'm going to cross it off for now. Let's keep going. Occupant classification system module, OSCM. Is that online? Yes, it is. It's green. Again, write that down. Next, we have this vehicle dynamics module. Now, is that online? It's right there. It's set 1 code. Lost communication with steering angle sensor module. Okay, but it is online. VDM, check. What's next? Auto dimming interior mirror. Again, that's, I'm going to cross it out for now because I don't think this car is equipped with that. It may be, but we'll come back to that if we need to. So next page, K and J, come through here. ABS, is the ABS online? Yes, ABS is online, and it's storing 1 code, lost communication with power steering control module. Okay, so auto dim mirror crossed out, ABS, check. Now, that's not used. Proximity warning radar unit, that's for the fancy cruise control, which again, no other module is saying it can't talk to this unit, so it's not equipped. That's this cruise control module. Not worried about that for now. Then we come to connector C1019. Power steering control module, PSCM. Okay, now we're getting to the modules that we cannot talk to. So PSCM, it's a star. Can't talk to that. You can see it's listed right here. It's gray. And we're almost done. Transmission range control module. Yep, can't talk to that one. And then the last page, KAJA. Gear shift module, can't talk to that. Heads up display module. Again, I don't think this car is equipped with it because no module is saying we can't talk to it. Steering column control module. A lot of other modules are fussing about that one. That's offline. So I'm suspecting that when I disconnected that bulk connector, that's going to be this C1019. If we look up the location of that connector, sure enough, it's down here. That's our connector. So the problem is going to be, this side's all good from the DLC coming to this connector, but then further this way, the problem's going to be somewhere in this wiring harness, I'm suspecting. And look, C1019, so it comes in, goes to this power steering control module, and then comes back to the transmission and all the other stuff. So this is very cool that I'm thinking if we jump pins 31 to 33 and 32 to 34, just get this power steering control module out of the way, and if all the other modules, if we restore the whole tree, then we're just suspecting this little bit of wiring coming from here to the PSCM and back to C1019. So that's my game plan. So using the AES Wave adapter kit, I have these 4 network wires on C1019. Just the plus and the plus are jumped together, and the minus are jumped together. Let's see if we restore communication to all the other modules and look at the scope. Let's turn the vehicle on. Okay, the networks look good, so I'm going to back out and then do a smart scan, and we'll see if our transmission stuff comes back online, and if any codes are stored. But this is good, so we restored the network. The only leg that's bad is the leg going to the power steering control module. So again, somewhere in here there's going to be a problem. This is the PSCM. I'm hoping the RCM and the TRCM and the SCCM come back online. I'm just surprised the car started at all. There we go. Too early to celebrate. Steering column control module. Is that going to come back online? No, it did not. Neither did the GSM. So potentially I could be on the wrong side of the connector. Meaning the side that I jumped is going to the PSCM, and this side is the one that's coming from the vehicle, from the DLC. So we could jump the other side of the connector. Alright, so I jumped the other side of the connector, same way. Let's see if, so our network is still okay. Let's back out, rescan the system. I want to see this TRCM and the GSM and the SSCM come back online. Alright, this is promising. GSM is back online. So the only one that I suspect will be offline is the power steering control module. So I want to see this one and this one light up. We'll clear all the codes out, see if it starts and runs fine, and we'll continue from there. Alright, excellent. SCCM is back online, TRCM is back online. Let's clear out all the codes one more time. See if it starts and runs, if it's happy, and then we'll chase the wires to the steering column control module, or the power steering control module rather. VDM is fussing about lost communication with steering angle sensor module. Power steering control module, okay. Let me just see if it starts and runs here. Maybe it's not happy with the charger. Let's see, let's shut this off. Let it go to sleep. And see if it starts. What the heck? To start, press brake. Key battery low, replace. Start, press brake. Maybe it doesn't want the driver's door open. Cars. Okay, so it's probably not starting because some of the other wires in that bulk connector are important. Maybe starter solenoid, whatever. But now, let's chase just the network problem to the power steering control module. We have the scope hooked up. We can hook up the bulk connector, unplug the module, just to make sure the module itself isn't doing something funky. If there's any other intermediate connectors, or if there's any more wiring damage. Alright, got the vehicle safely jacked up. let's do a visual inspection. Now I have the scope connected. You can see weird stuff is going on. So this is the wiring harness. Everything's reconnected. Signals are coming from here into this harness, over this frame rail into here, and then up and over to the steering column control module. So let's see if we can first inspect for any repairs. I think this section right here was taped up. So I'm going to see if I wiggle that, if it makes any difference. We restore the network at all. I'm going to see it drop down. And the damage is likely going to be next to a frame rail. Something got pinched. This does not look OEM right here. This is where the harness comes in. Might have gotten cut by that frame rail. So from here it goes up and over to the power steering rack, which is right here. Damage. For some reason this spot is kind of being suspicious to me. It's wrapped in plastic. So let me poke around. If we see anything in the scope, I'll turn the camera back on. So the next step in the diagnosis here is to unplug the power steering control module. In that shot, that's the steering rack. And that lives right here. Connectors are impossible to get to, but when I touch the connector, the network came back to life. Like, it looks beautiful now. And with the scanner, yep, we can talk to the power steering control module. So everything's plugged in. There it is, power steering control module. Let's clear out all the DTCs, rescan it one more time. I don't know if keeping the car on for a while cause it to come back to life, but in this case, it's actually looking like a module problem, this steering rack. This box right here was taking down the entire network, shorting it to power. Now it's perfect. So I can try unplugging it. Plugging it back in, we'll take a look at the connector. But these connectors are impossible to get to. They're like smashed up against the firewall. Might not be a wiring problem after all. Alright, so here we go. Power steering control module. This little connector, it's a 3-pin 1463A. It has a hot and runner start. And we saw that the can, the HS2, is being pulled high, like battery voltage. What I'm thinking is, this wire right here, there's some green crusties in this connector, on this 3-pin. Might have this problem. This thing lives right by the wheel, and it's very likely. Now, the only problem is this connector, C1463A.
For calling PICO. We'll be right with you. Nothing makes life.
Her phone connected to the car. So let me try to get this connector unplugged. I want to see green crusties on there. I really do. I think this problem is unrelated to the accident, since the car drove for 6 months just fine, and then this started happening intermittently. Green crusties. I know it. I can feel it. I can smell it. I just want to get to this connector. On the wiring diagram, this is it right here, C1463A. C1463A, right there. There's the power steering control. Let's try to unplug it. All right, now we got this side jacked up safely, and this is the connector that I want to unplug. You can see the borescope is going up. There's the power steering controller. And sure enough, we see the 3 wires. Those are the communication wires and that ignition power feed. Okay. So I don't know if I can get in there with a pick. It's like a little red lock. Maybe from the side there's like this heat shield in the way. Let me try to unplug it and we'll try to do a visual on the connector itself. Alright, got it. I think we won the battle. So I actually took apart the connector, unplugged it, took it apart, and what do we see? We see the classic green crusties around that positive wire. Now the lighting here is going to be kind of tough. I'll try to not to blind it. Let's see if we can find that connector. Oh yeah, there it is. That's the money shot. So that positive was bleeding over and pulling the communication wires up and taking down the entire network. So unrelated to the accident damage, that is a cool picture. You have to show that to the owner. Simply amazing. We gotta clean this up, maybe put some dielectric grease around the weather pack there, and well, it should last another, whatever, 5 years. Alright, so let's clean up this connector, and then we got some wiring repairs to do over there in the left front corner. So, deox it, spray the terminal there. Again, super hard to see. Use little files. Make sure between the pins there's no cross-contamination. We'll blow it out, clean this guy up, and put it all back together. With a little bit of this stuff, a little dielectric grease around the weather pack. That should help the moisture from getting back in anytime soon. Alright, now let's repair this mess. Let's take off these things. Oh, that's ridiculous. I mean, I guess they didn't corrode, so try to salvage the wires because they're kind of close to the actual connector. There. That goes to there. And this one, oh wow, no soldering, just some shrink wrap. And those should reach right there without too much hassle, I would think. Or we can run extensions and make sure that we're soldering the right wires. That's a white and black and a gray and black. So white and black, gray and black. So let me fix this up. This car should be back on the road. Alrighty, last piece of the puzzle. Let's solder up these two wires. I got long pieces of shrink wrap to cover the entire exposed area. I think it should be perfect. People who want to know where you can get tools that I use for my work, if it's available on Amazon, it's listed in my Amazon store. If it's not, then probably bought it somewhere else. This is the TS100 soldering iron. My favorite of all time. Heats up fast. The battery lasts forever, probably about a month in one charge, and I do use it at least weekly. That's good there. Alright, make sure that's good, and that'll be it. Alright, let's shrink up the shrink wrap. Make sure nothing pokes out of it. Like that. All right, be right there. Just finishing up the last wire here. All right, we got a green tree. Amazing. So this car's happy. Let's button everything up and we'll take it for a spin with the owner.
Yep.
All right, we're taking the Lincoln for a test drive. Janet is driving and she's excited.
I am so excited. It's
Get her car
wonderful.
back. Beautiful. So I'm very confident that this repair will last a while. I'll give it a 1-year guarantee, you know, standard. Perfect. But yeah, I'll just tell Janet, keep putting the miles on, and if she has any issues, she'll reach out. We'll do a follow-up. But I think it's good to go. The only other issues these Lincolns have is parasitic battery drains, and that is from the telematics control unit, which is like a 3G cell modem. So you can, I don't know, if you subscribe to the app, you can start your car from your cell phone or something. I'm sure you don't use that at all.
I do not.
So perhaps it'd be a good idea just to unplug that module right now to prevent any problems in the future. But otherwise, we're good to go. That was a fun one. The green crusties, you know, they showed up, and by the symptoms, this problem was at first very intermittent, right? And then it was kind of getting more and more problematic. More frequent. Yes. So whenever that connector got a little moisture, the green crusties would keep growing, and eventually it was broken most of the time. It was broken when I got here, which is nice. It stayed broken.
It did.
Until I just touched that connector, and then like, hey, what happened? The network came back. Like, that's where we're going, and sure enough, that's where the problem was. Yeah, we'll enjoy this trip in Kentucky, and thanks to Janet for the southern hospitality.
Hey, anytime. You come back anytime.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll bring the wife back down to see more horses. That's it for this one. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.